Hello, Avila Finance students. We are now in week 5, so we're officially halfway done with the course. So we're moving along quickly here, so just stay on top of everything. We restart the forum discussion this week. This week you're going to read chapters 10 and 11 and have some homework problems associated with that. And again, we'll just continue this for the next 3 weeks of forum discussions. And then we wrap up last week, no forum discussion, and then just your final exam, and then you're done with the course. So just keep plugging along, and the holidays will be here soon before you know it, and we'll have this course all wrapped up and ready to take a break. So with that, a little bit about chapter 10. We're starting to develop some tools right now with discussions of net present value, internal rate of return, payback period, profitability index. These are all ways for managers to make decisions about whether I want to accept a project. Essentially I'm putting some initial cash flow out there, and then I'm looking at those future cash flows at the end of a time period. We're simplifying things here, making the assumption that these cash flows happen all at the end of the year. And the reality is that they don't. But that's what we're doing with these things. We're discounting these cash flows at the end of a period back to the present value. And for net present value, as long as that present value of all those future cash flows is greater than the initial investment, and it's positive, the decision is we accept the project. And just put a note out there, I put a Excel screencast-o-matic video out there to kind of walk through some of the examples in this chapter to help you process and understand how we can use these tools in Excel. Another one is going to be internal rate of return. It essentially says what rate, if you will, sets the net present value exactly equal to 0. And there's also going to be one with modified internal rate of return. You'll read more about profitability index and payback. Chapter 11, what we're doing now is we're saying, before, where did we come up with these cash flows in chapter 10? Now we're really identifying where they're coming up with these free cash flows. So if I take on a project and I estimate this project is going to last for 5 to 7 years, and then maybe at the end that's going to be done, and we're going to have to give more capital and start over, or it's going to be the next series of razor, next phone, whatever it's going to be. I have to identify, what are the revenues, what are the costs, what are the additional monies needed to net working capital. And I can go along and I see that, hey, there's still this initial outlay, some dedication to net working capital in the front, but I capture this net working capital back throughout the project. And they gave a really nice example on page 380 with that the scooters example. So I'd spent a lot of time looking through that, understanding where they're coming up with the numbers. So if you are a financial analyst, that would be your job. You have to provide to management that, hey, I feel pretty good about these cash flows. They're never certain, cash flows never guaranteed. And that's where the management is going to want to know that the what ifs. What if input cost changes? What if sales aren't as strong? What if jet fuel prices go way up? And that's called sensitivity analysis and scenario analysis. Sensitivity analysis just looks at changing one variable and how does that change net present value. Scenario analysis says let's change a lot of different variables and what happens to the decision. So that way I have some flexibility and understanding that, hey, if something changes, is this still going to be a profitable project? Okay, well, that's it for this week. So have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you online. Take care.